is Don Goldberg for TechView, and our guest today is our good friend Dave Lucas from GCE, who has been a frequent guest on the show. And Dave, thanks for being here. What I want to talk to you about, OMB and the White House put out essentially a high-risk IT project list. Now, I know that the GAO over the years has done this, but this is the first time I think I've seen it at such a high level. What's it all about?
Well, I think what you're seeing, Don, is a move from this administration to declare the end of the mega project in the federal government with respect to IT. They also have done the same thing on the financial management side. So you see there's a financial management modernization list as well.
Mm-hmm.
And here this is all surrounding the idea that the government needs to start to get away from this model where they're going to build things from scratch. It's going to take many, many years and lots, tens, hundreds of millions of dollars, in some cases even billions of dollars. And instead, they really want to start looking at opportunities to mitigate risk and cost. Some of that you'll see in these memos. OMB is starting to say, we want to see incremental delivery. We want to see delivery that happens in 18 to 24 months,
right,
not over 5 and 6 years. And that we also want to see some innovation in the business model. Instead of building things from scratch, are there service providers that already have pieces of your solution
right
in place? And are there other efficiencies that can be gained from things like a cloud computing model, for example? So this is really what's surrounding the move from OMB to say, hey, let's identify those areas of greatest risk to taxpayer dollars and ask agencies and industry to pause for a moment, reflect on this, and see, are there areas where we can mitigate this kind of cost and risk?
Mm-hmm. Now, should contractors, big and small, should they be concerned? Should they be like losing sleep, or is this something that's just the natural evolution?
Well, the first thing that happens if you end up on a list is you go through all the stages of grief and denial. I'm on the list. How did I get on the list? What does it mean to be on the list?
Mm-hmm.
But I think if you take a broader perspective and you look at some of these very large projects that have been identified as potential areas of risk, I think a whole world of opportunity is going to open up now, particularly for small businesses that are innovative and on the leading edge, not only in their technology but on their business model. And so when you see companies like ours who've made very large investments in becoming service providers that can deliver enterprise solutions in that 18 to 24 month sweet spot that OMB is looking for, that's going to allow companies like ours to compete in areas that traditionally were reserved only for the largest system integrators.
Right.
So that, I think, is exciting. It's never exciting to be put on a list,
right,
but I think overall, if you can take a broader picture, a broader look, at what OMB is trying to accomplish, I think they're going to open up a lot of avenues for business, particularly for small businesses.
Mm-hmm. Now, there's really two lists. I know I said there's one, but there's really a high-risk list, and there's really one that identifies the financial management systems.
Right.
What's the difference between the two, and give us a perspective on that?
Okay. Well, there's the comptroller side of OMB, headed up by Danny Werfel, is the one that's really responsible for putting out the financial management list.
Mm-hmm.
And here, really, what OMB has done is they have identified that this type of IT investment, financial system modernization efforts, is particularly ripe for maybe ripe's not the wrong word, but is a particular interest because it's been such a high risk area traditionally for agencies.
Mm-hmm.
The number of failures in the tens and often hundreds of millions of dollars is significant. And so in an effort to try and attack this failure rate, really what they've done is they've asked all of the agencies to come in and go through an analysis, go through a review with OMB.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really what the financial management list is about. They've sort of carved out a high-risk area they've identified and said, we want to understand the investment plans that each agency is making. That's quite different from the IT list that OMB has put out, which are more mission-critical systems as opposed to back-office systems.
Right. So what are the next steps for the White House OMB on this?
Well, right now they're going through their review process. Each agency is coming in, they're going through, with OMB, and and trying to really justify some of the program management changes that are going to be made to help ensure that taxpayer dollars aren't unduly at risk.
Mm-hmm.
The question I think that we all have to ask ourselves, both on the industry side and on government side, is can we take advantage of this pause? Can we take advantage of this moment
Mm-hmm.
of time instead of to just react, hey, I'm on a list, and how do I get off the list?
Right.
Can we take advantage of innovation in business model and in technology now available in the marketplace that wasn't there maybe when you started your project? For example, imagine if 5 years ago someone had said, hey, I want to hire you, Don, and I want your company to build me a service that gives me a handheld device that has GPS capability.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I also wanted to take pictures, and I wanted to send text messages. And wouldn't it be great if I could call people?
Mm-hmm.
And you embarked on a whole campaign to build such a thing. And if that person today asked you to do it, you'd say, hey, go buy an iPhone or
Right.
go buy a BlackBerry. I mean, that service exists.
Yeah.
That's exactly where we are now. So I think if agencies and industry can pay less attention to, am I on the list, am I not on the list, and take more of an opportunity to say, what's happened in IT over the last few years, and
Mm-hmm.
can we use that to meet our business needs, then we're going to be in a much better place than where we've come from on these mega projects.
Mm-hmm. Well, Dave, thanks again for giving us your insight and your perspective. It's always very helpful on these obscure issues that are very important to spending and to IT across the board. So thanks for being here.
Thanks, Don. Appreciate the time.
I'm Don Goldberg for TechView.